G'day all, mods from Mod Scale Models. I'm back again. Hey, good news. Good news on two fronts. I've got a new sponsor coming on board, and I've got a new build coming. So let's jump straight in to the build, and then we'll talk about the sponsor. Yeah, I've got a new kit, a 29 Model A Roadster, Ford Roadster. So I don't know what we're going to call this build yet, but we'll have a think. So that's that. I've been chatting with SMS, been using their paints for a long time. When I was a full-time military builder, I used to use SMS paints for all my builds. So a lot of my stuff's in museums around the country and also overseas, and it's painted in SMS paints. Yeah. So I was been having a bit of a chat with Scott, the director of SMS Paints, and we sort of said, hey, why don't we come up with something, and I'll send you some of my amazing colours, which I'm going to go through in a second, and see what you can come up with, Mod. And I went, oh, yeah, that sounds great. So what we're going to do, it's a bit sort of rough at the moment, but what we're going to do, we're going to customise this thing as far as paintwork. I think the build will be pretty much standard, but we're going to customise the paint. So I'm really going to pull out all stops on this one. So I don't fully understand how it's going to look at the moment, but it's going to have flames on it, and we're gonna just take advantage of some of these amazing colours, right? So here's one for starters, right? So I just sort of, in consultation with SMS, sort of said, yeah, I want to do this, thinking about this. They picked up straight away and ran with it and said, hey, we'll just send you some stuff and have a crack. Galaxy Shift. Look at this, or Color Shift Galaxy. Wow. Check that out. I don't know if it's going to come out, but wow. Straight up, when I looked at this, this is going to go down, I think, first. I think this is the Hollow Shift Starburst. Check it out. You know, it's like one of those colours that you see on the speedboats, you know, when you're down there on the river and you're water skiing and you see those bright, chunky metallics. That's what that reminds me of. I can't wait to get in the spray booth with this stuff. So straight up, I'm thinking we're going to either use this as the base and then all the other colours are going to be sort of incorporated, I think. Big call. What SMS have done is they've given me too much choice here, and it's probably doing my head in because everything is amazing. And the next one that I've got here is the Pearl Purple Grape. Oh, you know what I'm thinking? Straight up, an old school bloody Valiant. How cool would that look in that colour? Don't you reckon? Right? Or one of those Impalas or something, you know, one of these US Impala. How cool was that colour? So we got that one. We got the Pearl Tropical Blue. Oh, these just keep getting better. Check these out. I don't know. Let's bring in a halo. Look at that colour. Wow. And the next one, it just keeps going, eh? Colour Shift Extreme. Abus, deep purple, blue, orange, gold. Oh, yeah. I tell you what. Oh, yeah. I'm loving that one. Geez, I'm like a kid in a lolly store, eh? So I'm really going to have to... I'm going to have a cup of coffee and have a bit of a settle down and have a bit of a think. What contrast, what colours, so... the easy part for me is to paint this stuff. The hardest part is working out what goes where, and So the next one, sorry, I digressed a bit. Pearl Deep Blue. I mean, check these colours out. I mean, these guys, they're at the forefront of this stuff. They are the masters of the hobbycraft paint world. Look at that. And the exciting thing that I'm over the moon about is that they're Australian. Yeah. So this is I've got 4 sponsors. This is my 3rd Australian sponsor. Okay. Australian made company. Yeah, tickety boo. Don't you love it? With one coming from Poland, which is, fantastic as well. The next one we're going to look at is the Pearl White Snow. Oh, wow. Check that out. So I reckon I might have to do a couple of builds because there's just, my mind's just going nuts on what we could do with some of this stuff. So the clear pearl. This stuff is great for putting over. Do you remember the disaster I had with the Lambo? Yeah, the yellow Lambo. That had a clear pearl over the top. But check this one out. Fantastic if you want to put it, say, straight, put down white with the clear pearl over the top. Yeah, or even the black. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What else we got? We got some super clear for, the little bits and pieces, all those the little 1%ers, where you might not do them in 2K. You can put a bit of super clear on. Fantastic. I got some jet black and some white. Can never go too far wrong with this stuff. I've been using these 3 products over the years. They just don't let you down. They're fantastic. Now, exciting stuff. I'll get to these 2 in a minute. We've got SMS Ultra Clear Coat 2K. Now, I haven't used this stuff before. So I'm super excited to give it a crack. What I'll do when we're building that model, I'll show you how I make it up. I'll show you how I spray it. And as per normal with me, I'll do a how-to along the way and that sort of stuff. I'll show you how to use all these in different applications as well. So not only am I, look, I'm being sponsored by these guys, which is fantastic, but I'll show you how to use them, all right? And I'll show you how to use them correctly. Because as you guys know, I'm a qualified automotive refinisher, okay? So, and my objective is to get it out of my head and put it in all that knowledge out of my head and put it in your head. So I can do that with this range as well. So that's the Ultra Clear. It's got the hardener and the thinner to go with it. I'll go through ratios another time. I just don't want to fill you full of jargon. And the Hyperchrome. Now, I know SMS Paints have had this for just a little while, and I've been keen to try it. I was going to reach out to Scott a while ago and say, hey, mate, what's going on with this stuff? It looks good. And now they've just released the Chrome Sealer. Now, I'll touch on this briefly. Most of the times when you spray this stuff or even use the Hyper Pens, you touch it and it leaves that fingerprint, you let it dry out. No more. Yeah, no more. The water-based, it is water-based, yep. The water-based Chrome Sealer, I'll go through the technique because there is a little technique for both these products, okay? So I'm going to do a separate how-to video on how to use this stuff correctly to get that pro result, okay? This is a real game changer, this stuff. Yeah, so, these guys are real innovative. They're really leading the chase with this stuff worldwide. So those are those products. So enough waffling from me. I will crack on with the Roadster, the 29 Roadster build, showcasing these products, and talk to you soon. Oh, with all the excitement, I forgot to mention, hey, SMS are going to give you a discount. Yeah, they're going to give you 10% discount. If you put in the code MODS10, I'll put it up, I'll put it down on the screen here, right? If you use that code, 10% off. Fair dinkum. How good's that? I might have to use the code myself. That's fantastic. So big thanks to SMS Paints. I will put the link in the description. So all you got to do is click on it. It'll take you where you need to go. And 10% off. Fair income. That's cracking, don't you reckon? So enough waffling from me. I will get this unboxed and I'll sort it all out and I'll come back and I'll let you know where I'm at. Alrighty. So I'll give you a hot little tip. When I'm doing a new build, or any build for that matter, I keep them in these containers. Yeah, I just went down to, I think it's like a $2 shop. I don't think they were $2, but along those lines, a discount shop. And I just put everything in there, and then you don't lose anything, right? I'm not worried about the chrome getting scratched. No, if I was, I'd leave it in the plastic, but that's all coming off because we're going to use the, where is it? Really organised today. We're going to use the Hyperchrome cold tone, yeah? So all this is going to go. And I'll show you how I get rid of all the chrome as well, as per usual. So I just thought I'd show you. That's what a kit looks like when it hasn't been built. And it's ready to go, or if it's a customer build, ready to go. And I usually put a sticky note up the top with what it is, why it is, and how it is, and the ultimate end product, what it should look like. So that's what I do there. So what I'm going to do now, I'll give you another little insight to what I do, because, look, sometimes people don't know, right? And if you don't know, you don't know, as I always say. So what I do prior to starting a new build is I read through every page just to give me a bit of an understanding of what the go is, right? And then from there, I will, if I was doing the colours out of a box, I would make sure I know, I'd group all the parts, blacks with blacks, blues with blues, and all that sort of stuff. Not knowing the colour scheme just yet, I'll sort of get to that when I get to it. But so there you go. And what I use to go through each section, I just use highlighters. Okay, yellow means that I've taken it off the tree. Purple is a specific colour, and orange is a spare one. I don't know what the orange one is. So that's what I do, right? And you might think, geez, Mod, you've been building these things for a while. Why do you need to do that? When you do this for a living, you could have up to 5 to 6. In my heyday, I think I had up to 10 builds on the go. And, why that's dry and you're doing that, why that's dry and you're doing that, and then you're painting that, and then you're waiting. And by highlighting where you're at in the progress, it just takes some of the guesswork out. So I obviously don't build that many anymore, not like the old days. But I still do the same principle. I still highlight when it comes off the sprue. That tells me that I've cut it off the sprue and it's in my Ziploc bag and it's good to go. And I also, with my Ziploc bags, I might put all the engine parts all in one Ziploc bag, because this is obviously the first stage is to build the engine. So I'll just snip them all up, dress them all up, get them primed, all that stuff, and get them categorized. So that's the way I do it. That's just a little insight. Geez, I can't speak. I'm all excited. That's an insight into how I do it. So I will, I'll crack on. Yeah. No time like the present, right? So, I just thought I'd show you guys scribing. Yeah. It can make or break a scale model. I'll show you what I use. I use the GSI Krios tungsten tip scribe. I think it's the 2mm. Don't quote me. I'll have to look it up and I'll put it down there. And the secret to scribing. I hope this comes out. I'll just go. The secret to scribing, right, is when you're running your... I've done these ones, and I thought, hey, Modster, show the guys how you do scribing. So what I do is I just stick it in the corner and I just slightly pass, no pressure. And you'll see on my finger, it's actually scribed it, okay? And I run that a couple of times. All right. Before I give it a little bit of pressure, not much, because we're just scribing it out, right? We don't want too much. So I reckon, and you're probably thinking, well, why would you do that? Why would you scribe? There are a few reasons, right? One, gives it crisp, clean line. The other is if you're applying lots of paint and lots of, say, 2K clear, yeah? Well, that line is going to fill up super quick, and you'll end up with like a ridge, I hope that comes out, like a little ridge instead of a crisp, clean line. Does that make sense? So get yourself a scribe tool. Now, I've got a few in the collection. So look at this afternoon. It's afternoon here in Oz, and it's a cracking afternoon, and I'm thinking about knocking off. So scribers, let's have a look. I've got a Tamiya one, and I haven't used this one for a while, actually. Oh yeah, the last time I used this was on the Porsche 911 GTR, I think it was, because I wanted a nice big crisp line. So there's that one, okay, and you can get all this stuff on Amazon or on eBay. I've got the Steady Eddie. These are expensive. Check out this system, will you? Look at this bit of kit. All right, and that's got a scribe in it as well. I only use that for certain little things. I'll tell you where that could come in handy. See the mold lines running down there, right? That's where on the 20, what is this thing? Is it 29? It is. On the 29, that's where the panels join up, where they join up. So that's, yeah, so you could actually run your scribe down there if you wanted to clean line it, or run it across the bottom there and clean line it. I don't know yet, but that's the Steady. Can't remember what that's worth, but that's not cheap. I use that one, and I've also got, oh, that's not a scribe. That's more of a gets rid of panel lines. That's my SMS panel line remover. The guys that are sponsoring this build. If you've got any like panel lines you want removed, you can just, that's ceramic, and you just and it gets rid of the lines. I haven't used it for a while. Used it a lot when I built helicopters back in the day. Used them all the time. As far as scribing tools, oh yeah, I've got Pointer. You guys know Pointer. Pointer's great if you want to do around petrol caps, you know, and you just sort of, you're trying to get that to go around corners, around circles. So you just get in there and that tends to do the job. So as far as scribing, I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's all. I'm having a look, eh? Let me just go to my cupboard, because there's always something, eh? No, that's it. That's you'd reckon I know, eh? But this is by far my favourite tool, okay? And you can get replacement tungsten tips for it. But being it's scribing plastic and this being tungsten, I don't reckon I'm going to replace it very often. So, enough of that. Back to the technique. So let's just go into there. Hey, I'm getting better with this camera business, aren't I? And we'll bring down halo. And something like this, right? What you don't want to do is you don't want to end up, where's Pointer? You don't want to end up scribing past there, right? So, little trick is you come down a little bit, scribe it, and come back and scribe up. Okay, and then you can just scribe your center. All right. And what I say, let the blade do the work. Yeah, don't you do it for it, let it do the work, and you'll end up with a nice crisp line. All right, so like I said, in the corners, start there, particularly not so much here because you can go bang and then come across bang, but in these little funny angles, get your corners done and then scribe your guts, the centers. All right, so that is how you scribe like a pro. All right, so that is, the body's done. There's not much to it. It's not like the Fat Boy. So that's done. So we'll end this video here. It's been great to get a new one started. I really enjoy starting new builds, and even better when I've got quality sponsors coming on board. So I really thank SMS, the Scale Modelers Supply, for sponsoring this series. And don't forget, Mods 10, yeah? Mods 10. Go look them up at scalemodeler.com.au and, yeah, go get yourself a discount. Tell them Mod sent you. So we'll finish this here, and I'll catch you on the next one. The next one, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to start the chassis. We'll start doing the engine and that sort of stuff, and then we'll sort of, hopefully between now and episode 2, we'll work out what colour we're going to do it. I've got no idea, but that's not unusual for me. I'll leave it to the last second, and then I'll get a brainwave like I did with the McLaren, and that came up unbelievable. So there you go. So I'll stop waffling. I'll finish off. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll have the details in the description for SMS paints. You can get 10% off, and you can get it right across the board, okay, and across your total. So that's fantastic. And if you drop a comment, let me know where you're from, because I love it. You guys know that. It just gets me out of bed in the morning knowing that someone contacts me. The other day, where did I get? I had another guy from Poland reach out and say, "G'day, I've been helping him through a few techniques on the side, and he's been giving me some pointers on video." And I know, right? I know. It's like the old barter system, isn't it? So anyway, so I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.